Look at this sea of transformers courtesy of Tanelec. And the trading mill has crossed borders here in Tanzania to have a conversation with the chief executive and to just get to understand how is the market like and how is it building such a massive infrastructure that enables our economies, and how and what does it take to do all that. And Zahir is right here. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Yes.
Karibu sana.
Thank you so much for hosting me. Asante. Let's go in here. You can take me along on this journey and what we are doing. Zahir, it's good to see you.
Karibu sana.
And welcome to the trading bell as well.
Karibu sana.
Asante. Wow, it's a Swahili land. Karibu tena. This is lovely. Beautiful place. We had a beautiful view of Tanzania. And thank you so much for really hosting the inaugural Trading Bell Show Cross Border. And I want to start by welcoming our viewers to Tanelec, where we have come. And I wanted to ask you to help us understand who Tanelec is and what they really do and the role they play in our region. Yeah.
So quickly, I will take you through the history of Tanelec, where we all started.
Yeah.
It began in 1981 as a joint venture between the government of Tanzania and the government of Norway. Okay, through a company called EB Norway. Yeah, and over the years, the company operated with that setup. Then it changed hands. ABB took over the shareholding from EB Norway. Yeah. Until finally in 2007, where TransCentury from Kenya, they came and bought the majority shareholding in the company. So as we speak today, we have 30% shareholding from the government of Tanzania, and then 70% from TransCentury Nairobi.
Yeah. All right, that's fair enough and a good introduction. Maybe delve deeper into the products offering that you guys give to your customers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, in Tanelec, we operate from the time you generate the power to the time you consume it in your house. Yeah. Okay. So we make sure our products are in the entire line. We supply line materials such as cross arms. We supply fuses. We supply load break switches. These are some technical terms, but as we discuss more and more, you will get to understand them. And I'm sure when you visit the factory, you will have a hands-on trial on some of them. Yeah. Then as soon as the power reaches to the consumer unit, we need to step it down because power is usually generated at a very high voltage. You're right. So that it's able to be transmitted over long distances with the minimum loss. Okay. So there we also play a role. Okay. We supply distribution transformers that will step down the voltage from say 33,000 volts to the 240 or 415 that you'll typically use in the house. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Once the power has been stepped down, now you need to have protection devices. You need to have distribution devices. I am sure in your house you see a small unit. You usually
there's something on the wall.
Yes. That's called a distribution box. Yes. So we make distribution boxes. We make power correction equipment. We make motor control centers. These fall under the category of switchgear. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. And I'm looking forward to the tour. Let's move to your market in terms of takeover and leadership. And I noticed from the statistics, you have taken quite a chunk of Tanzania market, 80% in leadership. And I wanted to ask you, what strategies have you most really effected to ensure that you have this mandate and dominance in the market? And how is the company planning to replicate this success in other regions that you work in?
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tanelec has been in, as I said, the electrical market for a long time.
Absolutely.
Many things have really worked us positively towards our success. Yeah. For example, if we begin with the first one, we really believe in partnership model. Okay. While other people would be looking at business as buy and sell, we look at, we want to be close to you, we want to be your partner. We really need to understand, what do you do? Yeah. How can we give you a solution that will meet your requirements? Yeah. Okay. To clearly understand this, if you look at our mission, we say we are existing so that we can be the key partners to go to in the Africa region. Okay. Yeah? How we are going to do this? We want to give you very innovative products tailored to your specific needs. Yeah. So we will manufacture it. First, we will understand your need. We will manufacture, deliver, and make sure it works.
Okay.
That will not be the end of the story.
Okay.
We'll make sure we follow up. And if there is anything that happens later, our after-sales service will take care of it.
For a company like yours to maintain such levels of satisfaction, it simply means then the customers are happy, and it also means then there's things that you're doing right for you to continue being at the top. And I wanted to ask you, so what are you doing to ensure that really customers remain satisfied?
So basically, you are asking about customer loyalty.
Absolutely.
What drives customer loyalty here in Tanelec is the idea that I've already alluded to it, that we want to work in partnership. And the fact that all our businesses are run through local support, through the indigenous people, people who understand the market. You can imagine, I operate in, Tanelec operates in Uganda, operates in Zambia. Somebody from Tanzania going to Kasese, trying to speak to somebody who speaks in Uganda. This is going to be chaos. Going to give him a solution that he used in Tanzania, yet it doesn't work.
It may not work there.
What is interesting about power? If we assume me and you have factories on the power line, I am at the beginning of the line, and you are at the end of the line 100 kilometers away. On the same power line. The power you get and the power I get completely different. What works for me will definitely not work for you. So that is where our strength comes in. We've got local teams who understand the environment, who understand the nature of our power, and they're able to customize the solution for them. So this puts us ahead of the game.
I love that you've alluded to the regions that you serve. You've mentioned Zambia, you've mentioned Uganda as well. I just wanted you to give me some color into it. How are the operations like in those particular regions in terms of your market operations?
One good thing is the East Africa community. So there's a lot of unification happening, how trade happens between these regions. For example, there are tariffs that control movements of goods within this region. So that has made operating in this region a bit bearable. But that doesn't mean that there are no challenges. Operating in a wide region like this comes with its own challenges. What we do is we try and operate every business completely autonomous. For example, in Kenya, I have a country manager responsible for the unit. He has his targets. There are appraisal systems to see how he's delivering. But otherwise, he's completely independent. The other thing that helps us is the best practices that we've learned here in Tanzania. We are then able to replicate them in those areas. We do not need to reinvent the wheel. We've been there, we've died. Incidentally, we celebrated our 40th anniversary just 2 years ago. You can imagine.
Wow.
That will be maybe as old as you.
Congratulations on that. I'll tell you more about that later. Let's talk about your innovation, because one thing that is quite clear for a company to still remain as satisfactory to customers and more, you must constantly innovate so that at least you are still in the market and doing well in that. And I wanted to ask you about that innovation and product development. What's happening around that sphere?
Innovation. That actually makes me want to jump. That really turns me on. If I put it that way. In Tanelec, we look at innovation as the only thing that keeps us surviving every day. There are two things that drive innovation for our situation. One, the ever-changing landscape as far as technology is concerned. Something as simple as steel. What steel was 2 years ago and the kind of innovations that have been done around steel today completely changed the manufacturing process. The second thing that drives our innovation is the ever-demanding, ever-increasing demands for customers. So these two things keep on fueling us to think outside the box. Actually, we have got a saying here. We say, we just don't think outside the box. We make a custom transformer power box.
Power that box. I love that. Before I move on to matter sustainability and all that, just thinking basic and looking at your operations and all that, what's your strategy? Because, as we say, you have to keep moving and growing the company to ensure that you are really benefiting not just the society and all that. In fact, I wanted to ask you, what kind of numbers of people, directly or indirectly, have benefited from this company? If you could share some of those numbers.
So if I tackle that first, right here in Arusha, we are employing directly 200 employees.
Wow.
This is besides the service providers such as Securities, and we've got a canteen that serves our staff. So without counting the indirect employees. In Kenya, we have about 20 employees. A similar number in Uganda.
Okay.
And about 60.
Okay. Let's move to the sustainability and matters of environmental impact. Of course, with the growing focus on ESG and corporates being asked to do their operations in a responsible manner, I wanted you to tell me what steps that you as Tanelec are taking to ensure that you're operating in such kind of an environment through your processes and products. Yeah.
You see what's interesting about life, and me and you feel like right now we are in charge.
Yeah.
But actually we're just custodians.
We are.
Yeah.
That's true.
The Gen Zs are eyeing when are we going to leave this position so that they can...
You have an issue with Gen Zs in this country as well? Just checking.
I don't want to go there.
No, it's okay. Yes.
So we have basically custodians.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to hand over the baton as soon as
You're right.
the bell rings.
Okay.
So what we value is how we do our operation.
Yeah.
We look at environment from how we source our raw materials.
Okay.
How we run our operations.
Yeah.
How we deliver the goods to the customer. Okay. For example, if I talk about the raw materials we use, we take a lot of time to choose raw materials that can be recycled. I know that our transformers will last about 25 years to 30 years. I mean, that's a very long time.
Yeah.
But there's a day this transformer will come out of service.
You're right.
What happens next? So we make sure the steel that we use in the transformers are able to be reprocessed and recycled by the industries around.
Yeah.
The transformer oil is used basically by people who treat wood as a preservative chemical for the wood, things like that. Again, when you look at environment, how we ship our goods to the customer, we avoid using things like polyethylene at all to pack our goods. We use only biodegradable items, like wood and plywood. The other thing we look at as far as environment is concerned, the process itself in manufacturing transformers. There are many ways you can treat steel. The cheaper way is to use acid mixed with water, and you pickle the steel, just like the way you would pickle mangoes to make pickles, yes? So that process will remove any grease or rust from the steel. Very cheap, very quick method. The headache comes, how do you dispose of the waste? So Tanelec has opted to go for the most expensive way, but the most environmentally friendly way. We do a process called shock blasting, where we clean the steel with a dry process, then we use dry powder for painting. So this is one of the process changes that we've made. Another excellent process change that we've made is the use of laser rays to cut steel. Traditional method produces a lot of waste as you cut steel.
You're right.
But when you take a walk, you will get to see. You cut with the precision. The gap when you cut the steel is as thin as a hair.
Wow.
This is something that has reduced our scrap from about 15% to less than 3%. This is something we track on a daily basis.
I'm curious. Africa is talking about how we can be integrated. We have the Africa Free Continental Trade Area and all that. And the fact that you're touching certain countries and regions, definitely this should be an area of interest for you. How is that operating for you? Is that giving you an eye to look at your outlook and possible ways of tapping new markets? Just an outlook view.
If we just look at, let's say, the East Africa region first, before we go too far. I am sure you saw in the media just a few days ago, Excellency Mama Samia Suluhu went for the inauguration and at the start of 2 to 3 turbines at the Nyerere Dam. What Nyerere Dam does is that when it's fully on board, it is going to double the capacity of power generation in the country. To put it in focus, is what Tanzania has done from independence to debt in be doubled overnight.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
While we still think about that, think of the Great Renaissance Star, Ethiopia. When that comes on board now, with the ideas of networking that power all the way to South Africa, I think there is huge opportunity.
Wow.
All this power, we need require infrastructure to take it off, to deliver it to the industries, and deliver it to the end users, me and you in our houses. So the opportunities within the region are enormous. Sometimes I try to imagine the future. I imagine the countries to the west of Africa might not even need to generate power. They just need to tap into these lines. That is where Tanelec plays. We give you line materials. We give you step-up transformers. We use step-down transformers.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I want to, as we come to a close, ask you what keeps you awake in terms of the challenges that you constantly are facing. What are some of them on your entry that are the main ones? I know there could be a gazillion.
What challenges?
Just challenges? There are no challenges. I was about to say we are done, but go on.
So challenges are there, and there are many. But just to pick a few.
Yeah.
One of the key challenges that our neighboring country Kenya has just grappled with, and maybe it's still there, the issue of scarcity of dollar. And dollar being scarce is one issue, and then the rate fluctuating continuous. This is two issues coupled together.
Okay.
It's a problem that's biting us.
Yes.
I know the government is doing everything. The situation is under control.
Okay.
But on our part as management running a manufacturing industry, we look at different methods of how to make sure that in case there is any issue with dollar, we are able to deal with it there and then.
Yeah.
One of the things we do is we deal with our bank, and we go into strategies like hedging. We try and actually for large, because we can plan our orders. Most of our orders, by the way, run for 3 to 4 years. They're from utility companies. So we can plan our orders much earlier. We give large orders to the supplier, and we lock the prices at that time. So in that way, we are able to predict our dollar requirements. We also deal with that challenge mainly through making sure I every day preach to my commercial team, sell in regions where we are paid in dollars. Sell in Congo, sell in Rwanda. Because these are export markets.
You're right.
Get paid in dollars.
You're right.
And one of the things, as a Tanzanian, uzalendo is a very important thing.
Yes.
So one of the things we do, any raw material that is available in the country.
Yes.
We've got many, many steel mills. Just here in Arusha, I can mention 3, 4. Any raw material that is available in the country, we buy it locally.
Wow.
One, it is uzalendo. Two, it reduces the pressure on the
Wow. Lovely. This is such a good conversation, but I have to end by asking you about your future growth and what you're eyeing at. Where do we want to see you in 5 years? Because I would want you to invite me again here so we can have conversation and check whether we have achieved it.
I don't know that you mentioned inviting you.
Yes.
Let me tell you one of the things that Tanelec is doing for the future. I'm sure it goes without saying you. Toyota has a subsidiary in Kenya called CFAO. Okay. And Toyota being the giant in the vehicle industry, they are very keen about raw materials. So they have a company they call Proterial. Proterial is a world leader in material science research. Okay, so they've come up with a certain steel, which is called amorphous steel, which has got remarkable electrical properties. And one of the areas where it's finds excellent use is in transformers. Okay. So you teamed up with Proterial via their subsidiary in Kenya, that is CFAO, to build low-loss power transformers. Okay, where you transmit power, besides the power being lost on the line, transformers play a bigger role to lead power loss. This power would have been sold if it was not lost. It would be sold to someone else.
Absolutely.
Remember, power generation has some environmental impact. Whether you use a generator, whether you used hydro, there will be some level of environmental impact. So the moment you're able to rescue these losses, then it's a win-win situation for everybody. So one of the things we're doing for the future, we are teaming up with CFAO. We are already in an advanced stage where we have developed prototypes of these transformers. We will be spearheading the pilot project in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. This is just one of the things that will be a future. And that you mentioned, you will look for me. Yes, we will look for you with this one. The other thing, the buzzword around right now is about smart grids. You must have heard about smart grids. Grids that are able to sense the power demand, increase load, reduce load in a certain area, switch off a whole town because there's a huge fault that requires attention, so that you don't have situations where the entire country goes into blackout.
You're right.
I think that sounds familiar.
That's a very good one, yes.
So the smart grids, that's one of the areas we're focusing into. What is interesting also is smart transformers. Let me tell you of one that we supplied only about 2 months ago. We supplied smart transformers to Safaricom with our partner Power Group in Kenya for a data center in Thika. If you come from that area and you use your phone on Safaricom, be sure I have a hand in your ability to communicate. So this transformer is aware of its environment. It knows what's happening around it in terms of, is it getting too hot? Is the demand of the load demanding too much that it can supply? And it's able to communicate with the people responsible, either via SMS, via WhatsApp, or to a dedicated terminal, and send this information. So that's one area that we are already into. And we believe in the future about all the transformers will be digital.
With the untapped population that still needs to be connected, because in Kenya we still have the last mile connectivity. I don't know, what do you have here in Tanzania? Are those opportunities that you're also seeing that are still going to contribute to your growth?
So if we look at our market share here in Tanzania, out of say almost 80, let's say majority share of market share that you're controlling, we look at it in 3 main categories. The first category being the utility company itself, the Tanescos, the Zescos, the Kenya Power, the Mwenes. The second category is contractors that serve rural electrification projects. And I would confidently say that in Tanzania, most of the transformers that are installed for rural electrification are supplied by us.
Thank you so much for your time, Zahil. That was a lovely time here. Asante sana. Sasa sijui niseme vipi, but thank you so much. I'm trying to get my Swahili here. And it's such a great time to be hosted here by Zahil, the Chief Executive. Tanelec, very optimistic about region expansion, the positivity, moving smart innovation and all that. So I'll leave you now with the markets.